How's it going, guys? Football-ManagerYouthDevelopment.co.uk here. In this episode, I'm going to share with you 4 tips for improving your defence on Football Manager 2016. If you do have any further ideas on this topic or anything that might help other people, please do leave your comments below, and of course hit that like button if you find this video helpful. So my first tip on this topic is to make sure that you're picking a consistent defence. Where possible, it's a good idea to make sure that you're picking the players with the best ability in your team. I do apologise about some of the ability of the players in this current team that I'm managing here. I'm currently trying to do a Youth Academy challenge over in Iceland, so as you can imagine, the players aren't exactly fantastic. However, what I am trying to do where possible is just to make sure that I am picking my best players, and of course always I'm having a look at the form of the players and of course things like average ratings and things like that. Obviously, the more game time that players get, then the better they're going to be performing. And of course, it's really important to make sure that your players are on really good form and to make sure that their morale is as high as possible. My second tip is to make sure that you're having a really good look through all of the statistics for all of the players that you're playing. So I use custom screens here, but what's a really good thing to take a look at is maybe the amount of mistakes that your players are making, having a look at things like the amount of headers that they're winning, tackles per game, headers won, interceptions, tackle ratios and things like this. There's a whole variety of things that you can take a look at, obviously, on Football Manager. But just for an example, if I have a look here, I can see that one of my young defenders here, he's actually only 17 years old, but he's actually made 32 mistakes in 9 appearances. So for me, I do need to be having a look at why he's making so many mistakes, and obviously if I can kind of see a little bit of a pattern in his game as to why he's making so many mistakes, then hopefully I can look to make some changes. Obviously there are some pretty decent things in this guy's game. For example, in the games that he has played, he does seem to make quite a lot of interceptions. He does tend to win the ball quite often. His header ratio percentage of winning headers is 76%. And yeah, so overall he's not doing too much, too bad, to be honest. But yeah, the amount of mistakes he's making is obviously something that I do need to cut out in his game. And obviously that has led to him having a pretty poor average rating. So what I'll be doing, I'll be having a look at why he's making mistakes and then just trying to make some minor tweaks just to make sure that I do manage to cut these out of his game. The third thing that you can take a look at to try and concede less goals or to improve your defence is just to simply have a look at the player roles that you've got for your team. Like I said, I am managing in Iceland at the moment, so my players are pretty horrendous to say the least. What I've decided to do is just to have my back 4. I've kept everything really simple. Like, both my fullbacks are limited defenders at the moment. None of the players at all are told to do anything extravagant with the ball. They're told to kind of keep it really simple. And pretty much their job is just to kind of win back the ball and then trying to give it up to my more flair players, which are pretty much these 4 up here. What I've also decided to do is to have 2 holding midfielders, and in terms of tactics, just to help out with my defence, because I know that my defence is really they've got no experience basically. I've got about 3 or 4 17-year-olds unfortunately at the moment in my defence, and so yeah, what I've decided to do is just to have my midfielders who are a little bit more experienced just kind of helping out at the back. One thing obviously to take a look at and to make sure that if you are using midfielders that are a little bit more defensive minded, that they are actually going to be putting their foot into a tackle, and they're actually going to be willing to help out your defence. So the fourth and final thing to have a check over is just the type of goals that you are conceding. So if you click on tactics here and then click on analysis, what you'll want to do is just have a look at goals. So from this screen, what you'll be able to do, you can set it to whatever you want, but personally, I'm really just interested in my domestic league, the sort of type of goals that I'm conceding here. So if we have a look, just for example, at the goal types, I can see that I have conceded 20 goals that have been place shots. I don't particularly struggle against headers. Free kicks are absolutely fine. And I've only actually conceded 1 penalty against myself. So the place shots is something that's really sort of like killing me at the moment, basically. In terms of where the goal assists are actually coming from, what we can actually see here is that the through balls and crosses, they're the sort of 2 type of assists that are absolutely killing me at the moment. And you can see here, yeah, the amount of crosses and things like that. So we're obviously letting way too many crosses go through, unfortunately. So if I take a look at the tactics here, this is a really good area to just take a look at the type of tactics that you've used, where you've been successful. So we can see that predominantly this is the tactic that I have been using, and in terms of goals scored and goals against, it's pretty evenly matched, to be honest. You can see that I have tried to change my tactics around a few times, kind of with mixed success, to be honest. So tactics like this, my team obviously really struggles. So yeah, I only scored 2 goals and conceded 7 using that tactic. Obviously said this one was quite, successful for myself. But if we have a look at the tactics faced, now this is sort of quite an eye-opener actually, because whenever we are against this tactic here, you can see that we've actually only scored 6 goals, but we've conceded 16 goals against. So what I would basically need to try and find out is just why we are conceding so many goals when we're facing this type of formation against the opposition. So this is a really good screen just to have a look through the, click on tactics, go to analysis, and just pretty much have a real good look around everything that you're, everything that's happening basically. So yeah, there's some real good things that you can have a look at. So obviously now that I do know that I'm conceding a hell of a lot of goals from crosses and things like that, this is something that I'm obviously going to need to take a look at. And the fact that I know that I'm absolutely fine when it comes to sort of headed goals, it's just the place shots that are, really giving me troubles, and I'm conceding quite a number of goals just through place shots, with sort of quite a lot of them just coming through crosses as well. That's an area where I'm really going to need to have a look at my defence just to try and work out what's going on. So yeah, that's my 4th and final tip, just to have a real good look at the tactics and the analysis of the type of goals that you're conceding, and then hopefully that will make you, you'll actually be able to learn exactly where you need to make changes, and you'll be able to do that. As I said, if this video has helped you, please do comment on the video, like the video, and of course subscribe to the channel, and we'll be back very soon for some more Football Manager videos. Thanks for watching.